Now at 6, the controversies that drew a packed house at the Carthage City Council meeting. Plus, the city of Joplin announces some big plans for Ewart Park. And Week of the Young Child continues in Pittsburgh with a car seat check lane.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
The city of Carthage will host a meeting tomorrow to discuss the possible removal of the city administrator, Greg Dagnon, and consider articles of impeachment against the mayor. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. The decision to hold a special meeting to discuss these and other topics was made during last night's packed city council meeting. KOAM's Fernandez Silva has more.
The first meeting for some new Carthage City Council members was eventful. A motion to terminate City Administrator Greg Dagnon's employment immediately was proposed by City Council member Alan Snow. But according to the mayor, the motion was not appropriate.
They have to be able to have a hearing. They have to be presented with charges. There has to be a cause. And so far, none of that has been presented. So you can't remove an officer of the city by making a motion to do it.
The discussion on the topic was rescheduled to happen on Thursday evening alongside articles of impeachment against the mayor.
Anything that the mayor doesn't like, he tries to find a way to prevent from happening or prevent from being discussed, and I feel that this is just more of the same.
According to Snow and some other council members, the city has been divided and has lost trust in the city hall.
I don't believe that our city, because of the distrust, can move forward with the city administrator still serving.
I feel like Mr. Dagnon has taken on a little bit more of a role of a city manager, which is more direct authority in that role.
Part of the conflict lies around Dagnon's contract with the city.
I believe that the mayor gave him a letter to offer him a job that was never ratified or approved by council.
Traditionally by our city are between the employee and the mayor. That's the way they have always been done, and that's the way mine was done when I started.
According to Dagnon, the contract says he cannot be fired for the first 10 years unless there is a cause. We tried contacting the city's HR to understand the city's policy when it comes to employee contracts, the possible removal of the city administrator, and the consideration of articles of impeachment against the mayor. However, we cannot get a clarification on the procedure because of a motion made Tuesday night. New council member Jonna Schramm made a motion to prohibit city employees from speaking to the media about city-related issues without the approval of the city council. The motion was tabled and added to Thursday night's city's council meeting as a resolution.
Some motions that were made should really have been either in the form of a council bill or a resolution, and they were not. None of them were on the agenda, which they need to be, and some of them are just the process. That was the wrong point in the process for a motion like that to be made.
We also tried contacting the city's attorney but couldn't reach him.
We're all one team, and if they don't want me on their team, that is okay, but there's actually rules that must be followed. There are our charter, ordinances, and state laws, and they need to follow them, and they're not doing that.
Well, I believe that removing Mr. Dagnon from the position would be a significant step towards healing the city and trying to pull us back together in a unified manner.
In Carthage, Fernandez Silva, KOAM News.
There's also a dispute regarding the Water and Electric Board and water and electric salaries. The City Council also approved a motion declaring a no confidence in the leadership of Mayor Dan Reif. Now, prior to going to air with this story, we did hear from the city's attorney. You can find the answer to some of our questions as well as additional information on this story on our website. That's KOAMnewsnow.com. Let's check in with meteorologist Lindsay Gaffney now for a first look at the weather.
Well, we've had some rainy days the last couple of days. Now the rain's starting to clear out, starting to rotate out up to the east. Now it's part of a bigger system. The main threat went through Texas. However, there is a secondary storm system that actually went through the southern states, dropping a tornado out in Houston. That also another tornado dropped in Louisiana. So we've had some pretty serious storms in the southeast over here. Now continuing on, we're going on a warming trend. We see clear skies all the way through the weekend. Warming trend could cause some concerns for fire weather, and we'll talk more about that in just a bit. But tonight, no concern. Rain starts to clear out around 8, 9 o'clock tonight, and then we'll have some cloudy skies. Temperatures drop down to about 45, and winds pick up through tomorrow. I'll have more details in just a bit.
See you soon. City of Joplin announces plans to revitalize Ewart Park thanks to voters renewing that quarter-cent parks and stormwater sales tax. Those plans include developing a new splash park, which the city says would be a state-of-the-art seasonal park to replace the aquatic center. It would feature water areas during the summer and an ice skating ribbon during the winter. They also plan to add a new playground, multi-use basketball court, and amphitheater. You can check out the designs through a virtual open house on our website. Pittsburgh Police Department today conducted a car seat check lane event. Technicians inspected child seats, and family response advocates provided families with information about their program. Members of the Rotary Club and Community Health Center were also on hand to help. The event was part of the Week of the Young Child. Pitt State and MSSU make their mark in the latest coaching polls. John's going to have that story for us later in sports. But first, a student-run business in Fredonia, Kansas celebrates its first 5 years. Yeah, quite a celebration. Solution Tree today gave the Carthage Intermediate Center a celebration box containing a flag and certificate of recognition. That was to recognize the center for achievements in enhancing student learning. Solution Tree is a company that provides training and published materials for educators. The Kansas Technology Center today hosted its School of Construction Expo. The expo began in 2013 as a single company, providing an opportunity for PSU construction students to experience equipment they might see in their careers. 2 years ago, it expanded to include interior design and electrical technology exhibits and vendors. The event has grown in recent years to include as many as 800 attendees and 100 companies. High school students in Fredonia are now 5 years into running and operating a successful business. KOIM was there for the grand opening of The Hive 5 years ago. The coffee shop in Fredonia is now a staple in the community. Anthony Saviello today caught up with the students to see just how far the business has come in 5 years.
A ringing of a bell is how most students start their morning. However, Fredonia Yellow Jackets prefer a different sound.
The reason I wanted to start working here is because I had so many advocators in the upper class, and I just loved those upperclassmen, so I wanted to work here with them. But also, it's a great opportunity to learn skills.
5 years ago, when the student-run coffee shop known as The Hive first opened, the walls were mostly bare, and the menu had less options. Fast forward, and now it's a thriving business and hub for the community.
It's just something our school is really passionate about. Everyone who comes up from the elementary school or middle school is like, I want to work at the Hive. I want to be like the Hive managers and Hive supervisors. It's kind of like, I would say, like the cool thing to do at our high school. Everyone kind of wants to work here.
For students like Brenna Harvey, who has been working at the Hive since its early days, this place is a second home.
I feel like I've given most of my life to being at the Hive and coming up with new ideas. You know, I in the drawer every day, so I'm here a lot.
And though she's set to graduate this year, she's leaving the Hive in good hands.
I think this is a learning experience, so we're all growing and learning new things about coffee, about just our community, how to like be a team, especially when like things change, we all have to like adjust to it. But I do think that everybody should at least experience what it's like to work here.
For these students, the Hive is more than just a job. It's a right step for their future.
None of my family has ever been to college, so I kind of wanted to be the first. And
in the meantime, they'll continue to make a killer cup of coffee. Reporting in Fredonia, Anthony Saviello, KOAM News.
Now, to celebrate the 5th anniversary of the Hive, the shop offered 10% off all drinks and food. A little bit later, a Labette County high schooler taking talents to the next level right in southeast Kansas. John has the story and more coming up in sports.
And rain finally clears out, and we'll start talking about what you can expect the next couple of days right after the break. What a dreary day it has been. We've seen a lot of rainfall in most of our southern counties. It's looking to clear out in the next hour or two. Take a look at downtown Joplin from Cornell Arts and Entertainment Complex. You can see it's still pretty dreary out there. However, most of the rain has cleared out. We are seeing some drizzles still out there. Now, the rain amounts that we've seen in the last 24 hours has been pretty significant. Most of the region just got half an inch to an inch of rainfall, but if you look, little yellow spot above Joplin got about nearly 3 inches of rain. So quite a bit, and possibly localized flooding in that area as well. Now, the rain is starting to rotate back in on itself and shift out to the east. It's a part of a larger system that the majority of the severe weather went through Texas and is now moving through Arkansas. We didn't see any severe weather, just some rainfall, and there is a secondary system that actually went through some of our southern states, dropped a tornado out in Texas and Louisiana, Now, as we continue on for the next few days, we do see a high pressure ridge forming over our area, bringing us a lot of nicer temperatures for the next couple of days and into the weekend. What you can expect tonight, though, rain starting to shift out around 8 p.m., continuing out, definitely cleared out by 10, 11, and then as we move into the early hours on Thursday, we'll see clouds start to clear. Temperatures are cooler, as we saw that rain cool us down, so our high only getting up to about 63 to mid 60s across the region. It's going to be pretty windy, though. We've got wind 10, 15 miles per hour with gusts even higher than that. We could see gusts up to about 30, 35 miles per hour as we check it out. Starts gusting pretty early. This is 6:30 a.m. We'll see wind gusts getting up to about 30, 31 miles per hour. Continuing on through the early afternoon, will start to die down as we move into the later evening hours, and we'll only see gusts up to about 15 to 20 miles per hour. Now after that, we're going to have a pretty nice day on Friday as we have a ridge forming over our area, giving us nice temperatures. We're going to go on a warming trend as well. Friday only getting up to the 70s. However, as we move into the weekend, we'll see temperatures getting up to the 80s. This is Saturday. We're going to have some clouds moving in and winds continue again on Saturday. Now, Thursday and Saturday with those windy conditions, we are going to see elevated fire concerns. However, in most of the region, tomorrow may not see as many concerns just due to all of the rainfall, and the soil is already saturated from the heavy rain that we've gotten the last couple of days. Now, Saturday, pretty low humidity values, and it's going to be pretty dry for the next weekend. And on top of that, temperatures warming up to the 80s and those winds gusting up to about 45 miles per hour on Saturday. So pretty elevated fire concern for Saturday. Now, Sunday getting up to 84. Monday 82, clouds start to move in and we see thunderstorm chances pick back up early on Tuesday. We're going to see those chances continue on through all of next week.
All right, good weekend to get outside if you can withstand the wind anyway.
Definitely.
Thanks. Still ahead, Missouri Southern Baseball receives its highest ranking of the 2024 season, and a Labette County High School basketball player signs with Fort Scott Community College. John Dales has those stories and more coming up next.
A high school basketball standout from Southeast Kansas signs a commitment today in front of friends and family to ensure he'll stay in the area as a college basketball player. Xavier Phillips, a 6'4" senior guard at Labette County High School, signs his letter of intent to commit to Fort Scott Community College. The future Greyhound is excited about the opportunity to grow his game and grow as a person.
The program I think has been just a huge help, getting out there and enjoying the game and hanging out with everybody, and then the community comes out and supports every night no matter how well we're doing. I'm looking to maintain the 4.0 GPA, but then also try to go to the next level and play at a full year.
Pittsburgh State softball is off until the weekend, but moves up in this week's Top 25 Coaches poll. The Gorillas are the number 9 team in the country. This comes after they've won 6 games in a row. PSU has a Top 25 showdown on the horizon. The Gorillas play 23rd ranked Washburn in a road doubleheader on Friday nights. Well, we've got another local team in the top 10, but for baseball, Missouri Southern moves up to number 8 in today's coaches poll. The Lions trade places with Ashland, who was ranked 8 last week. Now they're in the 9th spot behind Southern. MSSU lost on the road to Rogers State yesterday. The Lions play 3 more road games this weekend at Northeastern States. And some Major League Baseball, the Royals and Cardinals both coming off wins last night. Each of them try to replicate that today. Rainy day at Busch Stadium. Cardinals down 1 in the second until Brendan Donovan crushes this pitch to right field. That is a solo homer to tie the game. Still tied in the 6th inning when Brandon Marsh hits an RBI single into left field off Andre Palante. Phillies open up a 4-2 lead. Bottom of the 8th, same score. Interesting play. Victor Scott II looks like he has an infield single. But the Phillies, check this out, they tag him out, and he is out. That's because he took a step towards second base right here, putting him back in play as a runner. Cardinals can't catch a break. Last chance in the 9th inning after that, runner on first base for Jordan Walker. He's at the plate and he grounds into a game-ending double play. Cardinals lose the series to Philadelphia 2-1. Royals don't start for another 15 minutes or so. They're coming off a walk-off win in extra innings last night. Right-handed pitcher Seth Lugo slated to get the start for KC. Through 12 innings pitched this season, he's allowed only 1 earned run. Then in the NBA, the Thunder are coming off a 20-point comeback victory last night against the Kings. Tonight, OKC plays host to the Spurs, who are just 10-30 on the road this season. The game's set up to tip off at 7. Another college basketball story, we mentioned John Calipari earlier in the week leaving Kentucky for Arkansas. He makes things official down in Fayetteville for the first time as their new head coach.
Yeah, a lot of Razorback fans are excited about that.
That they are.
We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. We're going to tell you when Whataburger is going to open its new location in Joplin. Plus, Missouri Governor Mike Parson announces $5 million in equipment grants for first responders and a perfect match in more ways than one. How a Kansas City woman helped to keep her husband alive. Those stories, a lot more. It's coming up tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Hey, if you're ever on the go and you want to still be able to catch our newscast live, it's real simple. Just download the KOAM Plus app. You can download it right now. It's available free of charge on the app store of your choice. Just search for KOAM Plus. It's been kind of a damp day out there, but the rain will let up.
Yes, starts to clear out around 8-9 tonight. Tomorrow we'll have some pretty windy conditions. However, with the soils already saturated, fire weather is not a main concern unless you got little to no rain accumulation in the last couple of days. Temperatures warm up, though, by the weekend, 80 degrees.
That's good to see. Final sports note.
Ethan Dillinger, who's an all-state basketball player at Erie, he announces his commitment today as well. He's going to Link Academy, taking a prep year down in Branson.
Congratulations. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here for KOAM News at 10. Let's make it a great evening.